Yashwini, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be telling you how to approach anatomy as a subject in first year of your med school. So let's not waste time and get started. Anatomy, a subject which most of us struggle with in the initial few days of MBBS. But as the time passed by and we slowly start to understand the terminology of the subject, we end up liking that subject. So anatomy is divided into general anatomy, gross anatomy, histology and embryology. Coming to the books, I used B.D. Chaurasia for gross anatomy and general anatomy. General anatomy is quite easy, which you can follow, and there is nothing to worry about. Coming to gross anatomy, when you initially start reading BDC, you might find it a bit difficult to follow, but you have to give some of your time to the subject and to get adjusted to the textbook BDC, and you will eventually start following the subject. That's what I followed, that's what I did. You have to give yourself some time and be consistent with your studies. There's one more option, that is Vishram Singh, which many of my friends did study. You can also check that out. For histology and embryology, I followed Indabir Singh, again an amazing book. You also need a bone set, which you can take from a senior. Make sure you get an original bone set and avoid artificial one for better markings on the bones. Anatomy is a visual subject, so the better you see the diagrams, the more you see the real structures in a dissection hall, the better you understand the subject. So to get some really good diagrams, you can also refer an Atlas or Gray's Anatomy. Gray's Anatomy has got really good diagrams. You need not to buy the book. You can always go to the library and see what's in the book, or you can have a PDF. Having PDF in your laptop or in your iPad is the best way, because you can refer to so many textbooks at once. Like if you are studying BDC, you can also keep Vishram Singh as a PDF. So check out, if you find anything difficult in one book, you can always go to another book. So have PDF of different books in your laptop or iPad. That is one thing like all medicos do. So if you're new medico, so try out this method. Now coming to making notes, something that had put me in so much dilemma, because some suggested that making notes is very important, and some told me you need not to waste time making notes, it's okay to study textbooks only. But I ended up making notes only of important concepts, which are going to appear a lot in your exams. The probability of their coming in the examination is very much higher. So only those concepts I made a good number of notes. Like I made notes for cavernous sinus, structures under the cover of gluteus maximus, the structures passing through the greater and lesser sciatic foramen, and many more such important concepts. Hence these topics have higher probability to appear in a university exam. You need to do multiple revisions of these concepts. So it's important that you make your notes sweet and short. Because if you end up making tedious notes, it's a heavy waste of your time, because everything is already in the textbook. So point wise, make good notes of important topics that can help you do quick and efficient revision. So that's what I did, and I would like to suggest that to you all. Make short, simple notes which you can follow very easily and which you can revise very quickly a day before the examination. So that's how I ended up making notes, and it really helped me a lot. So you can try that out. Now coming to how I studied anatomy as a subject, for me YouTube is a blessing. I'm sure for every other medico YouTube is a blessing, because my 50 to 60% of studies involved watching YouTube videos. And for anatomy, one of my favorite channels is Essentials of Medical Sciences. You should definitely go and check out that channel, because they have videos which cover most of the topics, and the way they explain in a very simple language, so that you can follow very easily, and the mnemonics that they use are going to help you and make learning very fun. So you should definitely go and check out that channel. And also there's one more channel called Akshat Juneja, which you have to see when you have less amount of time and you have to study so many topics. They explain the most complex topics in just 10 minutes. So you can save a lot of time there. You have to check out that channel as well. And they have great content when it comes to physiology and biochemistry as well. So please do check out these two channels. And even for dissection, like if you are going to dissection hall tomorrow, the previous night you just watched a video of what will be the structure that is going to be dissected tomorrow. Like the next day if you have to study liver, okay, you can always watch a video that is available on YouTube about the liver specimen that they're explaining with the real liver. So the next day when you go to the dissection hall, it is going to be very easy for you to catch up things, pick up things, and you can remember it for a very long time. You know, the things that you study in the dissection will remain in your mind for a very long time. So make sure that you don't waste your time in dissection hall, and previous night watch these videos and go, because these are not boring. These are not as tedious as reading textbooks. So you know, when you see the structure on your phone and next day when you go and see it in your dissection hall, it helps you learn better. And for that there is a YouTube channel called the Viva Voice of Anatomy, which explains you so many structures, real structures. So it's very helpful for your theory as well as your practicals. So you have to check that out. And coming for osteology, again I'm going to suggest you a YouTube channel. I know I'm doing this a lot, but believe me, YouTube can be used incredibly when it comes to your studies. And anatomy has got best YouTubers helping you out. So one more channel is Angelina Isaac, who explains bones the best. So you get all the bones explained in just 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes video. So if they're explaining that in your college, the previous night, you can just watch her video and go, so that you can understand better in the class. Even during when your practicals are nearing, you don't have time to read textbook, you can just watch a video and go. Since you're learning that from the entire year, it's going to help you a lot. So this was all about how I learned anatomy through YouTube, and it involved like 60 to 70% of my studies, and I'm sure it's going to help you all as well. Now coming to histology, make sure you study thoroughly the slides in your practical. Don't waste time in your practical classes, because if you keep piling on the things, if you waste your time in your practicals, believe me, it's going to be very hard when the exam nears. So don't do that. Don't waste your time in a practical session. Study the slides thoroughly. And histology is a subject that helps you not just in your practical but in your theory as well. So you can easily score marks if you know how to draw the diagram, if you know identification points in the histology. So don't ignore histology. Coming to embryology, embryology is a subject that needs a lot of connectivity and continuity. So when they are explaining you in the class, pay attention. Don't, just waste your time in theory classes. Be very attentive, especially when they are teaching you embryology, because that is a subject that needs a lot of continuity. If you don't know the first week development and second week development, you can definitely not understand what is going to happen in the third week. So make sure that you pay a lot of attention in your theory class when they are explaining to you in the college. If you don't follow anything, make sure that you come home or to your hostel and go through it on that day as well, so that you can understand the next class in a better way. So that is how I studied embryology. And embryology is also a subject, if you know few points, few things, you can score really good marks, and it is going to help in increasing your score overall in the university examination. And previously I mentioned that some important concepts you have to make notes. So how to figure out which is important and which is not. So if a unit is done for you, like if upper limb and thorax is completed, just go for some previous year question paper and see what are the questions that have appeared about these two concepts, upper limb and thorax. Just you can go through last 5 years question paper and you'll have an idea, okay, these things are important, and you can make notes and revise a lot. Like brachial plexus is very important. So such things you have to go through previous year question paper to understand which is important and which is not. And even your college exam gives you so much idea about how you can write your theory examination paper. So yeah, these were all my tips and advices when it comes to anatomy. And anatomy is also a subject which needs a lot of consistency. You have to give some quality amount of time with the subject to understand the subject better. So don't ignore these advices which I gave you, because I believe ignorance is the biggest enemy when it comes to academic growth. Don't do that. Be efficient, be consistent, and don't do the mistakes that I did. And yeah, this was my little effort in helping you all, and I really appreciate if you have stayed this long till the video. And if any of this makes sense, please do consider subscribing my channel and like, share, comment and do all the good stuff. Until my next video, bye bye.